Look at that. Well, it wants to be nice outside, but it's just not quite there yet. We're still kind of hanging around 12 to 14. It did get warmer yesterday. We did get up to 16, so that was really nice. Almost the end of May. To start, I'm going to start with my bush beans. And it has been said that when the apple trees start to blossom, then you can plant your bush beans. Once the petals drop, then you can plant your pole beans. In the past, I've planted my bush beans, just in my raised beds. One of my pet peeves is having to sit low on the ground to try to pick them. This old body doesn't like to sit that low anymore. And so I wanted to actually have them in my garden bed number 1 because there's a path. The side that's on the retaining wall would allow me to stand, but the su choy is not coming up as fast as it normally does. So I still might plant a couple in there because once the su choy is done, the beans would hopefully be ready. But what I've learned is that bean plants are nitrogen fixers. And so I'm actually going to plant bush beans throughout my gardens in just, kind of in the corners or along the edges, just so that I'm adding in a healthy nitrogen fixer. I think that's a pretty good idea. Here's what it looks like in my garden when you open up. Look at the worm life in there. Just absolutely brilliant. So I removed the coffee sacks, and this is the leftover straw from last year. So I'm gonna just rake it up, put in our bush beans, and then I might lay the coffee sacks back down. We'll see. One of the reasons for me to put the coffee sacks down is that it stops the weeds from getting to fly around, lay their seeds down. In the corners there's the bindweed, so I'm going to be pulling that out as well, and then we'll be planting up our little beans. Yay! One of the great things about working in this garden bed is this daphne. And it just smells so wonderful. Sitting over on my bench as the wind blows by, a beautiful fragrance. It's this rose/lilac smell. It's just absolutely wonderful. I'm in the best spot of the garden right now. I've propagated Italian bush beans. These are, they're just the regular green beans, bush beans, but these ones are from my garden from last year. So these were called early bush Italian. And so let's have a look. On a paper towel, wet the paper towel, put it in the Ziploc, and then put it in a warmer place, keeping it dark. And it looks like we've got some lovely beans here that have sprouted. So these are a quite large bean. So let's put them in the garden. Yay! I'm going to place the coffee sack over top of the area just to keep it protected and to make a marker so I know exactly how much this space was. So I have the Italian bush beans planted here, along here, and here. I didn't put a marker on that last one because I know it's right in front of the peas. I'm not sure why, but I wanted to have all the same kind in one bed, but I was still left with 3, and then it was like, no, 4 little beans, so I planted them over there. And then I'm going to do the last ones in garden bed number 1. Same place they were last year, or no, actually they weren't there last year. They were in garden bed number 2. So last year was my first year to grow pole beans, and I absolutely loved them, but I especially loved the Italian pole beans. Like, there just is this kind of floral fragrance. Like, I like all kinds of green beans. What's your favorite kind of green bean? Maybe comment down below. Do you prefer bush beans or pole beans? I like them both, but I want all my bush beans to be at a level that I don't have to bend, squat, or get onto the ground, which is one of the reasons why I really like the pole beans. This is going to be my pepper bed. I do have some onions that were sprouting, so I planted my sprouting onions in here, but garden bed number 1 is over there, and that's where I do have the arch there for planting my pole beans. So these are the garden bush beans. Let's go have a look. These are beans that I collected about 2 years ago from the garden. Could be some from last year. Ooh, these ones are very nice. I do a done and dirty planting. I'm gonna be putting just some fresh compost soil down. I'll remove these wood chips here and just kind of place a bean in a couple of spots. Add some of my own this composted soil. Remove these wood chips and just plant a bean plant. And this one is nice because it does hang over. Yeah, these ones turned out really nice. Look at that. So I got all the bush beans planted, 2 in garden bed number 1 and 3 in garden bed number 2, which you won't be able to see. I thought I would put them over near the corn so that it would cover where the corn's gonna be. That's about all I have in me for today. Well, I could show you these wonderful little things. So this is what I bought for my winter gardening. But I'm going to use it for my spring gardening. It does come out of the plastic bag, you know, which I used when I was doing the purple cabbages. Over there, I have rame cloth that I'll probably put over top, or maybe I'll just use this plastic because it's kind of a one-off. So anyway, I hope you are having a great day wherever you are.